Hey everyone, it's Ordinary Cheese Wizard, and welcome back for a very special Cyl8 hype video. I have decided to release a video that talks about my predictions for who is going to draw our voted units for Choose Your Legends 8. And I am really excited to talk about art and predictions and see if I can get any of them correct. And with that, let's get started. So first I did compile a list of which artists drew each of the characters from previous Choose Your Legends. And according to my meticulous research, which just involved a single spreadsheet, the person who drew the most characters for Choose Your Legends in the past was Wada Sachiko. I am a huge fan of Wada Sachiko, so statistically that means we have a pretty good chance of getting some additional Wada art, which is amazing. Wada ended up drawing 7 heroes, and after that it was Kita Senri, who drew 5, and then Kozaki Yusuke with 4, and then everybody else drew 1 except for Hidari, who drew 2. So with that in mind, I do have some picks for which artists would draw each of the characters if we are going statistically. So if we believe in statistics, which I know some of you very much do, this is who I think would draw each of our picks for CYL8. I have Robin getting drawn by Wada Sachiko, Alphonse by Kozaki Yusuke, Bernadetta by Kita Senri, and Felix by Pennicore. That last one is a little bit random, but because Hidari really only drew Echo's characters, I don't think statistically that Hidari is also going to draw Felix just because of that. So next, without the power of statistics on my side, or kind of still with statistics on my side, I looked at which artists had drawn each of the characters in their current versions. The easiest one by far was Felix, who had Clover.K draw both of his versions. So if IS wants to be super boring and keep the same artist, that is likely who will draw Felix for CYL8. For Bernadetta, she has had art done by 4 different artists for each of her versions: Nekomochi, Toby, Done Kanda, and Kubun. And she's a backpack in that one, but the art still counts. So that one is also a little bit tricky. Alphonse is pretty much split down the middle with Kozaki Yusuke and Argon, but if we consider Leaf an Alphonse alt, which I know some of you very much do, Kozaki Yusuke also draw 2 Leaf alts, and then one was drawn by Azusa. So that one, pretty good chance again that Kozaki Yusuke is going to draw Alphonse. But again, that would be kind of boring and expected. Robin also has had different art for pretty much every version. I think every version. Starting with Ueda Yumehiro, and then Mayo, Yoshiro Ambe, Hiraagi Akio, Chiko, Tefish, and Mayokuma. So Robin's had a lot of different ones. And that also doesn't count her Resplendent, because that is just an extra layer of confusion. But you know what? Why not? The person who drew her Resplendent is Fujikawa Akira. So Robin has had a lot of different artists, so that makes hers much harder to predict. Same with Bernadetta, if we're going just based off of artists who have already drawn these characters. And again, I think that that is the most boring, so I'm really hoping that they don't do that. But if for some reason IS decides that they are going to only have people who have already drawn these characters draw them again, these are my picks. For Robin, it would be Fujikawa Akira. For Alphonse, Kozaki Yusuke. For Bernadetta, Toby. And for Felix, Clover.K, because that's the only option. Now, this is where things get interesting. It seems like generally for Choose Your Legends, there is sort of no rhyme or reason to who draws which characters, except for Wada Sachiko is usually involved. So, here are some of my picks based on pretty much nothing except for who I would love to see draw each of the characters. So for round 1, my picks are Tefish drawing Robin, Wada Sachiko drawing Alphonse, Azutaro drawing Bernadetta, and Asatani Tomoyo drawing Felix. I think it is probably highly controversial that I grouped in the artists who have drawn Grima Robin as one of Robin's artists, and Tefish is one of those, but I think that Tefish could draw a super awesome non-Grima version of Robin, and I would absolutely love to see that. Same thing with Wada Sachiko drawing Alphonse. I think it would just be very expected. I wouldn't be surprised, but I could definitely see Wada Sachiko drawing a really cool version of Alphonse, making him look sweet but also powerful. And Wada Sachiko is one of my favorite Fire Emblem artists, so I would love to see that. Same thing with the rest of the artists in my picks here, but I think that Azutaro would draw a really, really cute Bernadetta. I think that that art style goes well with maybe Hope's Bernadetta. I'm really hoping that we don't get time skip Bernadetta because that hair is awful. It is so bad. Please, please, I hope none of these artists spent their precious time and incredible skills drawing that absolutely heinous haircut. Please give us Hope's Bernadetta or even regular flavor Academy Bernie. That's really my one hope for the art, is I just don't want time skip Bernadetta's hair. It's so bad. And did she straighten it? I mean, priorities girl, but whatever. Anyway, back to my picks for round 1. I would also love to see Felix in the style of Asatani Tomoyo, another one of my favorites. I think that Asatani Tomoyo could do a really wonderful job making Felix look fierce but also soft, and I think that would be very interesting to see. Next is my round 2 picks, which is only different from round 1 because I couldn't limit myself to just picking 4 artists that I wanted to see. So this is another dream here, and this would have Robin drawn by Aka. It would have Alphonse drawn by Nishiki Ariku, and it would have Bernadetta drawn by Ekao, and Felix drawn by Daisuke Izuka. Now these picks are a little crazier, I think. Maybe not all of them, but I just want to see like the scariest, closest combination of Felix and Fomortis from Daisuke Izuka. Because I just think that would be awesome. Like, draw Felix like Godzilla or something. I don't know. I just think that would be sick. And then I think that Aka could draw like a very kind of scary looking Robin, like super muscular, give us the pigtails flying in the wind. I don't know. I think Aka could do it. And then Ekao drew one of my favorite Resplendents in Fairy Corin. And I think that they could do a really wonderful job with Bernadetta and make her look really soft and kind of calm. I'm really hoping that we don't get frazzled Academy Bernadetta and that we get a more confident Bernie who is excited and flattered that we voted her to the top. And then lastly, Nishiki Ariku for Alphonse. I just think that they've drawn a lot of really great characters, and I would love to see Alphonse in another style. And lastly, round 3, which is Pipe Dream CYL8. And this has some crazy nominations here, but this would be really fun. So the first one isn't the craziest one, but it would have Robin drawn by Kaya8, and this might also be controversial, but I absolutely loved like the earlier Kaya8 drawings that were almost more cell shaded instead of, I don't know, regular shaded. But I still think that Kaya8's recent work is also really great. So I would love to see Robin in that style. And then I would love to see Alphonse in Hidari's style. And Hidari hasn't been back in quite some time. I think the last thing Hidari drew was Fallen Byleth. I could be wrong about that. But but I think that's the last one. But it would be super cool to see Alphonse get that treatment. And then for Bernadetta, I have Hakan nominated. And Hakan draws some of my very favorite characters in Fire Emblem. I love how soft the art is. Several of those characters have gotten resplendence, and I have promptly turned them off because I just love the original art. It's so pretty, it's so gentle, and I think that Bernie in that style would be really, really fun. And lastly, I have Felix drawn by the one, the only, the GOAT of Fire Emblem heroes and Fire Emblem in general, Suzuki Rika! It is very surprising to me that Suzuki Rika has not drawn a single Choose Your Legends character. And I wonder if that's because we would all just pull for that unit because of the amazing art. But considering how awesome the art is all around on Choose Your Legends, I feel like, what the heck? Why haven't we gotten any Suzuki Rika art? So I would love to see Felix get drawn by Suzuki Rika. I think that that style would work really well for him because, I don't know, everything Suzuki Rika draws is amazing. And I'm really excited for Felix. So selfishly, that would be absolutely incredible. And those are my 3 rounds of picks. I hope that everyone is as excited as I am for the art to drop. Honestly, skills and whatever, it takes me like a while to fully understand, and every year I feel like I pick the wrong, in quotes, unit, because I'm like, I'm gonna go for this one, and then I end up not using them and thinking, oh, I should have picked that one. But I also really just go based on the art and which art I like the best, and for me, that is the best part of the Fade trailer, so I hope that everyone is looking forward to that. Let me know who you would like to see draw your favorites, if you think any of my predictions are going to come true, and what you're hoping for in Choose Your Legends 8. I hope that everyone has a great day, and that you are super excited for the incoming Fade channel, and as always, keep it cheesy.